Kia ora koutou, it's Graham here. Today I want to talk more about definitions for literacy and numeracy, and the reason for that is sometimes, perhaps often, people mean different things when they use these words, and I just want us to be clear on what it is that we're talking about. So let's have a look at some definitions. We're going to leave aside ESOL for now and cover off these 5. Literacy, numeracy, embedded literacy, numeracy, Māori, and Pacific. So here we go. Literacy. Here's a good place to start. What is it? Literacy is the ability to understand, evaluate, use, and engage with written texts to get everyday things done. This means understanding written words and sentences, making sense of text and charts and diagrams, comprehending, interpreting, and evaluating more complex texts. Often there's more of a focus on reading rather than writing. Numeracy. What is it? Numeracy is the ability to use, interpret, and communicate mathematical information and ideas in order to engage in and manage the mathematical demands of a range of situations. Bit of a mouthful. But it often includes quantity, dimension, shapes, patterns, data, chance, and visual displays. Now, what about embedded literacy and numeracy? We've been talking about that. So what is it? In simple terms, it's combining the development of literacy and numeracy with vocational and other skills. That's it. The key thing, though, is that this means that literacy and numeracy skills are contextualized to the program. In other words, it's not literacy and numeracy for everything. It's the literacy and numeracy that you need for your program, whether it's plumbing, employment, beauty therapy, fashion design, or whatever. The aim is to provide learners with the confidence, the skills, the motivation that they need to succeed in that program. Now let's add 2 different kinds of literacy just to make the kōrero more interesting. So what does literacy and numeracy mean for Māori? So one definition is that literacy is the lifelong journey of building the capacity to read, in inverted commas, and shape Māori and other words. That's worth a further discussion at some stage, and I'll send you the attribution, but what's key here is that the idea of literacy is holistic, philosophical, and spiritual. And it incorporates the idea of being literate in 2 languages, Māori and English. And it's informed by Māori ways of knowing and being and doing. What about for Pacific? Being literate as a Pacific person means success in participation and access and in culture and in service and in advocacy and in economic terms. And this stresses the importance of reading and writing in English and speaking and reading, writing one's own Pacific heritage language at a high level. It also includes the importance of identity and the knowledge of one's Pacific cultural heritage, including knowledge of and respect for other cultures within Aotearoa New Zealand, and of living in a way that's responsive to shared Pacific values. So how is all of this relevant to me or to us? That's something that I hope we can talk about in more detail soon. To be clear, too, you will hear about other kinds of literacies, including financial literacy, digital literacy, health literacy, and so forth. But the point of this short video is to just focus in on some of the ones that are more relevant to us. Kia ora.